Good morning, everybody. Just getting the show started here. I'm going to be right with you in just a moment. Maybe. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name's Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of this great show here on Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. Today, if you're in the United States, it's Veterans Day. If you're in Canada, it's Remembrance Day. And if you're other parts of the world, it's Armistice Day. It's end of the World War I Day. It's turned into a day in which we want to pay our thanks and respects to all soldiers, all airmen, all navalmen, everybody that's lost their life fighting the wars that got us to where our countries are today. Some of you may not think that we have great countries now and things are going awry, but if those soldiers hadn't fought for you and fought for your reason to have free speech, you wouldn't be able to be protesting the things that you think are going wrong now. And many men lost their lives back in those days, and many men served and survived it. And we celebrate those men and women as well. My grandfather served in World War II. He was in the 7th Armored Division, came across from England into France a couple of days after D-Day in what's known as a replacement brigade. Replacement brigade is when everyone in the original brigade gets all shot and killed and they need to bring in fresh troops. And he was a second lieutenant in the motor pool and signal communications group, the 127th Signal Battalion or something like that. I might not have that exactly right. I've got it here somewhere. And he was fortunate. He survived the war. And he led the rest of his life very well and famously said, well, if Hitler can't get me, nobody else is going to get me. And he died of old age, very old age, and almost reached 100 and created quite the spectacle of a family, including all of my relatives above me and caused those to be created below me. And I have my son and daughter to thank for him surviving the war. So we celebrate all those people today. In Canada, where I am now, we celebrate Armistice Day. I'm sorry, it's now termed Remembrance Day. And I'll just read this. It's called In Flanders Field I can't read that well. By Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae, written May 3rd, 1915. In Flanders Field the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we are the dead short days ago. We lived, felt on, saw sunset glow, Loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the flow, to you from falling hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if you break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep through poppies grow in Flanders fields. As published in Punch magazine, December 8th, 1915. Very odd that, I don't know if you heard that or not, but the Bitcoin artillery just went off, and I was just listening to artillery here in Canada's capital. Right over on the hill, right over here. Boom, as they say, and in celebration of Remembrance Day, right? Just literally right up the street here. The missus and I were going to go, but it was very crowded and very cold and miserable. Ironically, the sun is out now, but they had a couple of howitzers up on Parliament Hill going off, and we're not that far from it, but they were loud, shook the place. Just like that. I don't think I'm feeding it through. I will feed it through now. But anyway, welcome to everyone that's joining us on this great day indeed. Let's get the shares up. Let's get the likes up. And let's get the music on. What's going on with the old music here? Just came to a halt. There we go. Bitcoin dropping like a stone. And let's get the music on. What's going on with the old music here? Just came to a halt. There we go. Bitcoin dropping like a stone. Oh, still didn't. There we go. All right, let's get oh, let's play that. Ooh, that was a little high. Sorry about that. All right, let's get to the show here today. Already got a couple of us watching here. Really appreciate everyone that's watching. If you could drop a comment here, I'd really appreciate it. If you notice, my compadre, Mr. Senor Pedro Garcia, is not in the house today. Why isn't my great comment machine? Anyway, Pedro is out today, ladies and gentlemen, so you just got me. We're going to have a shorter show today, talking about a couple of things, including the dropping market and this feature, Crypto Crime Continues. Another good one in the markets today here, or in the markets in the news, crypto kidnapping out of Dubai. You don't see a lot of crime out of Dubai. Not that to say it doesn't exist, it's just not well publicized there because they keep a low profile on that type of stuff. And when they get their men, as they say, who commit it, bad things happen to them. Anyway, let's refresh the old great graphics machine here. Dropping down to 103, probably get hit into the 102s here in a minute, I'm guessing. 103.062. Let's go to the Bitcoin chart here. Yes, traveling and spot markets are down into, actually this is Binance Futures, I think. No, Binance Spot. That's down to under 103 right now. Let's talk Bitcoin really quick, ladies and gentlemen, here. As you can see here on the chart, going down. It's real. Some real heavy advice for you, right? Anyway, let's look at it more in detail here. Everything going down on the great graphics machine here. Let's see if anything is up at all. Tron bucking the trend again. Look at that over there. The great graphics machine says Tron is in the green the past 24 hours. This is the second time that Bitcoin and the whole market has tanked and Tron has gone up. Maybe it's because volume is up and the amount of USDT is cranking through there. Anyway, I got the... Oh, it's not on loop. That's why. The music... Loop. Yes, play. I don't know how many of you can hear that. Let's get a comment. Let's see. Welcome, everybody. Please comment, subscribe, follow, repost. Just do it. All right, everybody. Welcome, everyone. Please comment, like, subscribe, follow, repost. Just do it. Trying to get the views up here, ladies and gentlemen. Rumble's been very good to us. They set the stage for our channel to do very well as compared to YouTube, which doesn't recommend our channel anymore. Crypto people are having a tough time. YouTube recently changed their rules about gambling, and there's a lot of gambling sites, especially these predictive markets that we talk about in our streams. And it kills the feed over there because they call it gambling. I wish they'd just actually believe in their free speech that they talk about. YouTube, you're not. You're not. Connect Me One is here. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Crypto Unicorns is here in the house. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on Rumble. Today we're on YouTube. We are on X. If you're watching on X, I see from the analytics, a lot of you do watch on desktop. Right click and open our show in a different browser. Keep it open on another monitor, one of your day trading monitors. And keep talking to us all day. X is one of those things, if we get any engagement at all, if you guys start watching it, it puts it right up. It starts mooning it very quickly. Very quickly. But anyway, let's talk Bitcoin. Let's check the markets real quick here. Bitcoin trading. Stuff is going on. First of all, these volume candles are large right now, and also on the great graphics machine over there. 24-hour high, 107.3. As you can see, it's way up there. We're at the 24-hour lows. 24-hour volume, 71 billion. That's more than average. Usually we're right around 60 billion. So the volumes are going to be up from the price swooning. You can see on my chart here, I have this graph, this line here. It says weekly open here. It opened the week. I'm going to have to... where's my screen? There we go. We opened the week here at 104,000. We're still underneath the weekly open. It's only day 2.5 of the week. We opened, obviously, here's the Monday trading day. Here's the Tuesday trading day. So we opened up here. We opened up above price action. Price action opened and went up on Monday. So it's one of those times you can expect it to come down. We'll go into that later after I do a little bit of a review here. Let's bring up the bigger chart here. My arrows. There they are. Anyway, this is what we've been looking for. This is the month of November outlook, as we talked about. The first arrow here. The first arrow here was the first week of November, last week, in which it opened up and went down. And then after that, we said if it goes down at the beginning of the month, this is a normal 4-week trading month, it's likely to go up. Which before going up at the end of the month, it's got to go down too. So before that, there's going to be some price moving up and down, some consolidation. As you can see today, we're just getting hammered, just blistered from 107 all the way down to 102 right now. You look at other candles, not that big of a move. While we have a green arrow predicted for this week, it's really just a concept that it's not a call saying, hey, buy here and go take profits up here. Not telling you that at all. Just telling you that this is the likely general pattern for the month. And how it's going to play out. And this smaller thin arrow just kind of represents less confidence. We are looking for it to go down. Why is my background on there? That's weird. Maybe that's the guest background? Oh. Anyway, whatever this is blocking. Whatever this is blocking the price here right now. Don't know what it is. Anyway, so the price here today, we're still looking for this week to be an up week. As I said, the weekly open is at 104,000. If the week opens below, it trades at the beginning of the week, trades below its price and a discount from the let's get back to that chart here. The beginning of the week's trading below the weekly open. It likely means for the rest of the week, it'll turn around and come up and finish above the weekly open. That's not guaranteed. That's just one of those things that statistically happens a lot, and you can trade it. There's all sorts of strange things that go into that. But it's a good one. It's a good one. Now, let's see. Let's go back to the daily thing and see how this is doing. Pedro and I talked about how the 1 hour chart. No, I was on the correct chart. Anyway, what do you see here? Pedro brought this up end of last week here. A lot of support here. A lot of support, buyer wicks here. And sure enough, you saw the market go up after that. And then here's the 8 period, this purple kind of moving down. And today's price range is coming right down onto that. It's likely to bust through it, or at least retrace a little bit and have known what's called as pierced through it. But all that shows us is that there is support down here. I don't have Bookmap open. Bookmap does show liquidity lower and all the way down to 85,000, I might add. And that doesn't mean it's coming today, but it means it could come during this arrow, which would be next week. So we're looking for the big move next week. Unless, of course, Mr. Trump says something about tariffs, then the big move will be immediately. And once again, everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining us. I see people, someone watching on Facebook. Thank you very much. Watching on the YouTubers. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate that. YouTube has not been good to us. Looks like Rumble's restream process is not working right today. If it goes down at the beginning, came back. Anyway, I'm without a guest or without Pedro here today, so I'm doing all the talking. So that's the general idea for Bitcoin. Let's go into it and look at today's. I've not reviewed it. I've been keeping a long-term view of Bitcoin on it, trying to learn the longer time frames. As if you're new to this show, I've been under the tutelage of Pedro, also master friend over in Crypto Lifers group, in learning things. And one of the things I was one of the things I was deficient in was the longer term frames. And I was spending too much time watching the 1 minute chart and 5 minute chart move up and down for short scalps. And that wears on you, especially when you get older here, that wears you down. And so I said, all right, I need to learn the longer time frame trades. So there are trades I don't have to pay attention to every second of every day. So that's what I've been doing. And that's why I talk about the monthly patterns here and how it's going to shape out. So let's go over to the chart for today. Let's start right at the 8 hour here. Or the 4 hour. 4 hour not looking good at all. Looking like it's going to keep coming down. As you see, everything's below. Price action's below all the moving averages. The moving averages are all pointing down. Nothing's in its favor here at all. Very possible to come back down into a support level that would be where shows some orders here, like 102. If I were to pull Bookmap up, they would show that. It would show probably orders in 1014 too, I bet. And before then going down into the 100,000s. It's a 4 hour chart, not looking that good. 1 hour chart, same thing. Just kind of rolling over here. I think Sam Price would probably say there's a little head and shoulders going here. But if you want to know what he said about the market today, go watch his show. It was between 10 and 12 today. Just go over to YouTube, type in Crypto Lifer, and he'll give you the full rundown on Bitcoin from all the time frames. Let's see. Let's just head right to the 15 minutes, see if there's any trades that may be developing. Nope, not from my point of view. Still looks like it's going to go down a little bit. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. Bitcoin here on the 5-minute chart. Also, yeah, well, this is looking bearish here. Just looking like it's going to go down more. You got to let it find an actual support level on the 5-minute chart. Well, I went down and tapped that 102.9. Where else would the support levels be here? 102.6 before heading down to 102, pretty much 102 even. So a 5-minute chart not looking good either. Let's hit the 1 minute. I bet that's not looking good either. It's not looking good. It's just a big trend down. So not much going on in the Bitcoiner there. As always, welcome everyone. Please comment, like, follow. Just do it. Let's see. Sorry about that. Something's not working here. What is not? All right, well, that's all we'll go through for Bitcoin right now. Not looking good. Not looking good at all. Unless you're into shorting it. If you're into shorting it, looking real good. Let's see. Let's put the 100K, 95K girl up. 100,000 coming soon. Yes, it is. That should be looping. Don't know why it's not. Let's see why not. Why is it not looping? It says play forever. Now, what is over on this side of me? Nope. That's me. That would be guest one. No guest today. All right, as you can see from the great graphic machine, BTC, let's re-rack the price here. Coming back up from those thunderous thunderclaps earlier from Fiat Link. 103.202. Running about $1 billion every 15 minutes in trades. All right, everybody, if you could share this, I really appreciate it. I need a couple more instances of the show, so we're able to run the Rumble ads. You need so many viewers to do that. Don't have it right now. Just fine. We're right in our normal zone. But usually with Pedro here talking and going over more crypto charts, gets more people. Anyway, let's pivot. Let's just give it a minute and talk, and we'll re-rack the show at the top of the hour. Let's go back and look at over on the side. I've got the TradeWave app going here. It's our new app coming out. Been testing it right now. I really love this cyberpunk look to it with the purples and the neons and stuff. And it turns out that's really hard for everybody to read. Feedback I'm getting. Need high contrast, need more blocky letters, easier to read. Because I've been testing it mostly on my desktop, but I tested on my phone too. A little bit harder to read for everybody. Anyway, as you can see, Tron here is up. Let's look at the Tron volumes. $661 million in Tron traded, market cap of $28 billion. It's moved just a little bit in the past 24 hours, but it's bucking the trend. It's going up. It's going up. Hey, just a few minutes ago in the 1 minute Bitcoin chart, I was like, this not any good, not going anywhere. And here it is, starting to climb out of its hole. We'll see if it bounces off these moving averages. Here, it's very small here, the 8 period, 20 period, and then this is the 100 and 200 period. If it gets close to this 200 period during the show, we'll talk about the 200 period trade. That is one of my sweet spots for trading. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple more people watching. Really appreciate that, which means you know what that means. It means we can run an ad. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what ad. Let's do the Rumble and Perplexity. All right, everybody. Got to earn a few dollars here right now. Looking for smarter ways to browse and enjoy your favorite content without ads? Get the Perplexity Pro bundle with Rumble Premium for just $19.99 a month when you sign up before December 31st. Normally a $29.99 a month value. Saving $10 a month. With Rumble Premium, you'll get an ad-free viewing experience across all your devices and access to exclusive premium content, no interruptions, just the videos and streams you love anytime, anywhere. Plus, Perplexity Pro boosts your productivity with unlimited research, unlimited uploads, exclusive member perks, and access to the latest and most advanced AI models for faster, smarter answers every day. Save over 30% on this powerful bundle. Head to rumble.com/premium before December 31st and sign up and unlock your premium experience. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a QR code over on that side of the screen. If you've got your cell phone in your hand and you're watching on a big screen TV, hold up and pop that QR code. Put your eyeballs on our sponsors. They would really appreciate it. It says right over there, get the Perplexity Pro bundle today with Rumble Premium. Can't beat that. Well, I hope they don't just offer it at a lower price later after you sign up. But anyway, if you're watching on your smartphone, there's a link in the chat section here to it. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. There's a link in the description. Thanks to Perplexity and Rumble. Remember, save over 30% on this powerful bundle. Head to rumble.com/premium before December 31st to sign up and unlock your premium experience. All right. Isn't that nice of them? Get a lot of good sponsors here on this show. Just need more viewers. Just need more viewers. Let's sneak over to that 1 minute chart there and see what's going on here. Look at that. The 1 minute price just came up through while we were talking here. Through the 8 period, the 20 period. Now let's make this a little bigger. Purple is the 8. It turned around and crossed over the 21. Good sign here. Now it's coming up to the 20 period moving average. So let's watch that for a few minutes. I've got over here on the side, it says Tron. It's not Tron we're watching here. It's BTC. BTC will have a new price here. 1033. Let's see if it comes up. If it comes up through the 20 here in the next minute or so, the 200 in the next minute or so, we'll keep an eye out for the sand price special. Oh, and I was going to say, if it just touches and it bounces off, we're probably going to head down much lower. So it seems to be wanting to do that right now. Let's keep an eye on that over the next few minutes. Anyway, let's start hitting some of the news. Anyway, wait, hold on. That's the top of the hour here. I'm not running my clock today since I don't have Pedro here. Let's run. Which one of these? This one? Let's just leave that one up. Also not. El No Lupo. Or rewind. Okay. Just watching this real quick here. Anyway, it's the top of the hour, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. And my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. I'm usually with my co-host, Mr. Pedro Garcia, but he is not here today. He is out. Has real world stuff to do. Markets kind of mixed today. NASDAQ is down 100 points. The Dow Jones is up 500 points. S&P 500 really unchanged. And then the big stocks like Apple, Tesla, and Netflix are really unchanged. This is typically a daily 2-hour talk show with Pedro and I. Pedro's out, so I'm just doing the 1-hour special here today talking about Bitcoin and some of the news. And some of the news, what we talked about was on our here, the crypto crime continues. Crypto crime continues. And there's a thumbnail of a dude putting a gun to another guy's head because that's what happens. That's what happens. A few weeks ago, Pedro and I talked about wrench attacks. And wrench attacks are when you have your super Trezor, your ledger, your whatever it is, your cold wallet, air gapped, super safe, super everything. Nobody knows the secret. They can't possibly, even you don't know the secret. You got to press a button at a certain time. Nobody's getting your money. And then someone takes a $5 wrench and hits you in the head with it as hard as they can. And then you give them your password. Right? Then you transfer your money to them. That's what's called a $5 wrench attack. There's also another popular one is the meet with new investors. Especially for people looking for money. They like to meet with new investors all the time. And a lot of times, not a lot of times, but happening more often than not, those investors turn out to be criminals. Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Can you believe it? Anyway, this story here, a crypto millionaire and his wife are kidnapped and dismembered after being lured to meet investors in the U.S. Now, we've talked about plenty of crypto kidnappings right here in Canada. Dean Skulka, the chairman, or CEO of WonderFi, I think they've changed their name now, was kidnapped right in downtown Toronto, pushed into a van, and then he was found in a park in Mississauga after having to pay a ransom. Yeah. In France, it's happened a number of times. Strangely enough, in Canada, they don't catch the guys. In France, they catch the guys almost every time. And there's a twist on this story. There's actually a great website that tracks all of these. On a longer show about this, we'll go in and talk about that. The point isn't to talk about the trends. The point is to talk about this particular case. It has a couple of odd things with it. One, it happened in Dubai. Not a lot of very bad things happen in Dubai. The police, everyone's there for serious reasons. Everyone's there to work. People that are there not to work have to leave. Their visa expires. And people that are there just as general criminals, malfeasance people, have to have, they have visas too. They're tracked. You're tracked when you come in the country. You're tracked. You don't leave in time. Your visa, you don't want to be caught with an expired visa there. They just chip you right out. Poop, time to go. So everyone there is very serious. There's not a lot of major crime there. But of course, vice still exists anywhere. There's still drugs and other issues and that. Just the penalties are very harsh. If you get caught over there, it's not good. It's not good. It's highly suggest just staying away from that or any of the Middle Eastern countries if you're into that type of vice. However, if you are a crypto millionaire and perhaps on the run from some other things in your life, this is the place to go because they don't have extradition treaties with everything. People that go to Dubai and to the United Arab Emirates are safe from extradition. And so it ends up with a lot of Russians there. And this crypto millionaire and his wife, Roman Novak, age 38, and his wife Anna, were last seen alive a month ago when they drove to meet who they thought were investors in Dubai's mountain resort of Hatta. I don't know why you couldn't have met at the local Marriott. There's lots of great places to meet in regular Dubai. The Dubai-based couple who boasted of an affluent life and fast cars and private jets and social media were extorted for cryptocurrency. slip of the tongue there. Just before disappearing, Novak had obtained a highly collectible elite British AC Cobra. That would be an American car. Shelby Cobras were American. It's believed that the couple were driven to Hatta by their personal driver, took them to a car park by a lake before they transferred to a different vehicle, never to be seen again. It was at this time Novak had messaged contacts on his phone to say he was stuck in the mountains at the Oman border and desperately needed 152,000 pounds. It's the typical crypto scam in which they kidnap you and they extort you. They basically put a gun to your head and say, pay us the money from your crypto wallets. And if you don't have the ability to give it to them, perhaps you're smart, your crypto is in custody at a custody firm like Custodia, Caitlin Long's firm, you can't transfer it out. And so what they do is they start texting your friends saying, hey, I need this money or bad things are going to happen. Bad things happened. Subsequent contact with the young couple was lost, said Svetlana of the Russian Investigative Committee. I've had gypsies and gangsters try to purchase Bitcoin off exchange from me in the EU. It's a thing. Same here. Hey, I'm looking to buy. I'm like, okay, well, just go to the exchange. You can buy it. Oh, no, I need to buy someone who's from home. Yeah. No, just go to the exchange. Or use a accredited peer-to-peer trade. They'll sell it to you on an accredited peer-to-peer trading platform. Sure. No, let's meet. Nope. Nope. Yeah, it's a big thing in France there, too, the Algerian crime gangs. Yeah. Anyway, their phones were tracked. This is where it gets in. Tracked for 2 days in Oman and Cape Town, where the signals vanished in early October. I've been to where they've talking about in Hatta and on the border with Oman. I've been there. All it is just a road that goes to Oman. There's a border where a lot of times I had to leave the UAE and come back to redo my visa. And so I've spent time out there. Not much out there. This resort is out there. Not a lot of other things. Plenty of places for things to go awry. Not a big area, but some mountains, plenty of valleys. Lots of places for the old criminal people to blend in. Here's the couple doing their thing in Italy. Now this is what's amazing though. I'm gonna have to swing back to this year. Here they are in Italy. All right. Here they are. You know something's up when couples wear outfits like this that are matching. It's not right. It's not right at all for you to look like a giant handkerchief. It's just something's amiss. And all sorts of social media postings of their wealth and that. The alarm was raised by the glamorous couple's relatives in Russia before the severed remains of Novak and his wife were found buried in a desert. I'm going on this, as Mrs. Striking would say, time to land the plane. But I'm going on with it because this story has an interesting twist and gets more interesting. 2 fighters from Putin's war in Ukraine, an ex-murder squad detective, are now in custody and said to be behind the killing and dismembering. 3 Russian suspects were actually shown being detained in St. Petersburg, Russia, after returning from Dubai. They named him and all this kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. Allegedly, they were the investors. Yeah. But you say, why would this guy be going to meet investors in the first place? But it goes on to talk about the crime and how they found traces of blood and all that, and the Russian ministry came in to help. And once they put the great surveillance machine on, they're gonna find the people who did it. But anyway, Novak had boasted of wealthy contacts, including billionaire owner of Telegram social media empire Pavel Durov. Some of the does this guy look like anything but not good? Yeah, no, you don't ever want to meet that guy. Nope. But anyway, see, here's where the story gets really interesting. And this kind of comes into this fuck around and find out thing. Mr. Novak was under investigation at the time he disappeared over alleged theft of more than 38 million British pounds from crypto investors under the pretext of business development. Among the alleged victims were businessmen from China and Middle Eastern countries and elsewhere. He had a knack of presenting himself, operating on the same level as Pavel Durov and Arab sheiks. Blah, blah, blah. In reality, Novak was a trained manipulator who managed to convince people to hand over hundreds of millions of dollars and then post on social media about his grand lifestyle in Dubai. Big mistake. It turns out he'd also served a prison sentence for embezzlement. Recently, Russian law. Now, who knows how much of this is completely true? It's the British tabloid newspaper and relying on the Russian sources. But recently, Russian law enforcement carried out inspections of crypto exchanges and searching for traces of investments. It turns out, I have a. Let's see if I have the other article here. Amount defrauded. He was part of what's called the transcript fraud. But it was part of a broader fraud allegations, total hundreds of millions of dollars across Novak's earlier projects. Later schemes, like another fraud called Fintopio, involved $500 million. $500 million. All of which it went missing. Can you believe that? Novak served 3 years in Russian prison before being granted parole in early 2023, in which he promptly relocated to Dubai to evade further scrutiny and pursue new opportunities. Novak's transcript involvement marked his entry into high-profile crypto fraud, previously building smaller schemes. It highlighted early vulnerabilities in unregulated Russian crypto markets. So let's to summarize this. To summarize, not that one. Summarize Mr. So here he is, Roman Novak. He's got out of Russian prison. And now in most countries of the world, if you have a criminal record, you can't travel to another country. Like, if you've got a criminal record in the U.S., you can't come into Canada. If you've got a criminal record in Canada, you can't come to the U.S. Similar. But apparently in Italy, nope. You can be a Russian embezzler and scammer who just got out of jail and go be a tourist and hang out at all the big sites in Italy. DeFi dude, I don't know if you have any other knowledge of going in and out of the EU. Do they even care about criminal records or anything like that? Probably not, since they just let everyone in anyway. Anyway, so the story, which is titled "Crypto Millionaire's Wife Are Kidnapped and Dismembered," should be rewritten correctly as crypto scammer who is actively scamming other Russian businessmen is found dead in the desert. That's basically the news for this one. And they went on about this, telling the whole story at length, because it is endemic of the industry, in that the scams still exist, even after years of doing this. Not just from me, but from all sorts of websites, companies, people talking about them. Still, there are plenty of people in the world that will just hand over their money to people who post cool things on social media. So I'm going to start posting pictures of Lambos and jets, and everyone just send me a couple $100 million. You get a couple extra $100 million for Pedro too. Would be really nice. Anyway, like I said here with the story, crypto crime continues. It's not going to be abated until the protections for crypto or people protect their crypto as they would their bank account. If you get kidnapped and you just call your bank randomly and say, and you have $100 million, and I say, I need 50 million of it sent to this account in this foreign country, they're going to say no. They're going to be like, nope, fraud department, nope. We're going to send a text to your phone. Oh, sorry, your phone's not in its home country. Doesn't work. And until people stop walking around with the ability to have all their money move around from their phone, this is going to keep going on. And really, as wealthy people that have earned it over a long period of time operate in a different world. They operate with security. They operate with trusted friends. They don't take risks like driving in the desert. They also don't scam people. Well, actively crypto scam people. Anyway, I thought that was a really interesting story for the show today. Quickly check in with Bitcoin while we talk here to see how that 1 minute chart was doing. All right, looks like it's holding on here. We were talking about earlier about the 1 minute chart, and I said the only hope for Bitcoin today, here this morning, or this afternoon, wherever you are, is if it comes up above this red line, which is the 200 period 1 minute moving average. And it came down below that, but it's showing a little support here, kind of moving along. I'm not going to get into the RSI or stochastics or anything like that. All we're doing is just watching it, see what happens. And if it goes above it, then I'll talk about it. And if it doesn't, I won't. Back to a little bit of news. Anyway, thanks, DeFi Dude. Thanks, Dara, for watching today. Really appreciate it. Let's see. What's the other news stories I had? I had some good ones built up here. Many of you, I should do a whole show about this. It's like, sometimes it's like the internet and Brad Garlinghouse just listens to me. Think that's possible? Or probable? Probably. I would guess the answer to that would be no. No, he's not watching the DYOR live show here. Anyway, but I've thrown shine on Ripple for a long time. Is it thrown shade on it? Or shade on it? It's just saying that they're scamming, not as like a scammer, but they're just not doing the people at XRP well. They get a lucky break in that the SEC just dismissed all the claims against them. And it really energized the base, and the price went from 50 cents to $3.70 and then back down. Everyone in the XRP army finally made the money they were looking for. And I don't know why I'm fading in and out here. Probably need the white balance to be, it's on auto white balance. Can't have that when it's cloudy outside. And I said, very famously, Ripple's not a good company. With their XRP product, what they're trying to do is force CBDCs. They've hired lobbyists all over the world to talk to governments about CBDCs and this kind of stuff. And it's the only way that they could get any money to be made from serious money to be made from their ledger to pay for their operations from the XRP ledger was to have a government incorporate their product into daily financial transactions, because those are a lot of transactions. In the daily economy, many bazillion transactions happen, and they could make money from that. And a great example is in Dubai. They had in the United Arab. No, I guess it was in Dubai. They famously, and this was a big deal. Everyone on the XRP army was talking about this. Was that they've got the government of Dubai to start using Ripple to track land deeds, to just to make it faster, simpler, better. And it's not like there's fraud over there in that, because you're not allowed to own your own property. Only the Emiratis are. And so I was like, woohoo! And I did a little bit of math on it. I'm like, there's only, say, a million residences in Dubai. Most are owned by a couple of big family-owned corporations, and then lots of little ones. And they don't turn over ownership that often. Even when foreigners buy a condo in a tall building, you're buying a kind of, they call it a freehold version or whatever. It's not yours forever. But anyway, people don't turn those over that fast. I mean, so there's the people that flip property. Point is, the volume of transaction is not there. And so even if everything goes, even if everybody sells their property, it's just a million transactions. A million transactions happens on Solana in 5 minutes. So they realized they weren't making any money. And I started seeing the price of XRP start to decline again. I'm like, they're selling it to raise money to do what? To buy other companies. And I said, Ripple's only hope is to transition into a traditional finance company. And I literally just said that 2 weeks ago. I repeated it last week. And here today is the article. Ripple Labs expands beyond crypto, sets sights on traditional finance. And like I said, the only way for them to actually make the serious amount of money they need to in order to support their operations, in order to pay for their executives and the amount of money they spend, is to earn money the traditional way and to become a big finance house. And that's what they're doing. They're buying infrastructure companies that for crypto, like wallet companies and other infrastructure companies. They're buying traditional finance companies to bring in lending products and that type of stuff. And they're growing. They're turning into a conglomerate, not necessarily a company with a top vertically integrated structure. Makes sense. I mean, it makes total sense. But then they'll go public, and the executives will all realize the massive stock options gains and all that type of stuff, and it'll work out for them. But they'll abandon XRP to the foundation. They'll be like, because once they go public, there already is no link to Ripple's performance to XRP, other than Ripple selling the XRP token. Not buying it, selling it. Everyone needs to get that through their head. Anyway, so thought that was quite interesting. Also, more. Well, I don't know if you guys still call England Europe or not. I guess they would, but you're not part of the EU. Bank of England proposes a 20,000 pound cap on retail stablecoin holdings, meaning that if you say you put $5,000, let's say you put $1,000 into a crypto and at 50x's, and you have 50,000. Well, let's do pounds. 50,000 pounds, and you sold it to USDT. You would be breaking the law in the Bank of England. You would not be able to hold 50,000 pounds worth of USDT stablecoins. You know what? Actually, Tether was a bad example. It would be stablecoins denominated in pounds or otherwise linked to the pound. What they're afraid of is flight of capital. If there's a company in the U.S. that says anyone that deposits USDT or USDC will pay you 8% staking, the money's going to fly out of all these other places really quickly. And so they don't want that to happen with other stable coins. But putting a cap on it is not the way you do it, because people will find workarounds to the cap. Multiple wallets, holding companies that own wallets and stuff like that. It's just one of those short-sighted things. And mostly the things that come out of England or out of the UK regarding crypto are very short-sighted. It's the government there, like other parliamentary forms of government, are very reactive and come up with bad laws. It takes a long time to sort them out in the courts. Well, we got a post here from Make America Great Again 29. Let's read this post here. Success isn't luck, it's discipline and the right mindset. From personal experience, Trump reveals the habits that built his empire and secrets to a long, successful life. Oh, it's an ad. Boo. Boo. That's why I shouldn't have links allowed in the comments. All right, I'm going to delete that message because I'm not going to follow the link. Make America great again. Don't post a link. You know better than that. Delete. Anyway, make America again. Make America great again. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Just can't post links there. Can't post links because I don't have time to go around and see if they're any good or not and vet them. Let's change up the music for a few minutes. Not a lot of time left in the show here. Let's listen to the Post Bloom. A little lo-fi. All right, everybody. I'm going to take a bottom of the hour commercial break here. See if see what kind of ads Rumble. Ow! It's not letting me start another one for another 20 minutes. What kind of crap is that? That's weird. On this browser, it is letting me. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got here for ads. I know you guys can't wait for me to read ads. I know. I've been working on it. What is Blue Chew? Oh, no, sorry, Blue Chew. When you give us a long script and say I can't vary from it at all. Nope, that's not gonna work. We'll just go with Rumble Premium. It's always a good standby here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've probably noticed that Rumble is growing fast and is not slowing down. Nope. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform, no pre-rolls, no interruptions, the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators like Pedro and I here. We do 5 hours at least, maybe 6 to 7 this month, of Rumble Premium for only exclusive content. You won't find anywhere else. Yes, it's more Bitcoin content, but you know, you guys just want to listen to us. You should join Rumble Premium. Anyway, right now Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to Rumble Premium, rumble.com/premium, and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. Over here, there's a QR code, ladies and gentlemen. Why don't you click that QR code, put your eyeballs on our sponsors. We'd really appreciate it. If you're watching in the chat, there's also a link to do that. And if you're watching on the replay, as always, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And in the description below, there'll be a link to do the same thing. Sign up for Rumble Premium, and thank you to Rumble for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. All right, everybody, let's check in again before we go into a little bit more news. Anyway, it's the bottom of the hour here. You're watching DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. Markets are not moving and grooving today. S&P 500 relatively unchanged. Nasdaq down 80. S&P or Dow Jones is up 530. Apple, Tesla, and Netflix all relatively unchanged. A slow day here. It is somewhat of a holiday in parts of the world. Big liquidity is not necessarily all in the market today. But still, like you can see here, I've got the BTC chart up here. Earlier, we were talking about the monthly kind of outlook for the chart on Bitcoin's chart. And right now, I'm just going to go back in and kind of show you what we're tracking for the show here. Bitcoin is down today. It's this blue line up here is the weekly open up here at 104,006. We're trading below the weekly open. The odds are is that by the end of the week, we will be trading above the weekly open. Just kind of how things work out. Statistically, not all the time, just statistically. So at some point, we're going to see a big push back up through the 200 period moving average. This is the 1 minute chart. It's going to move back up to the 200 period moving average. It starts with the 1 minute chart. It's kind of being rejected by it. We'll see if it, over the next, 15 minutes that we're on the show here, we'll see if it works out that it goes above it. If it does, what do we want to see? We want to see the 8 period moving average, this purple line down here, also move above the 200 period moving average. And then after that, we want to see the 20 or 21 period, however you chart it, move above it. And that signifies that a little bull pump is going to happen. But you kind of have to, you can trade it early now and your percentage of being wrong increases. You can wait for the 8 period to cross also, and your percentage of losing decreases. If you can wait for the 21 period to cross the 200 period moving average, and your percentage of losing decreases even more. But if you wait till the 21 period kind of comes up and touches price action, the price comes up, and then eventually the 21 period will come up and hit the price action. That's generally where it starts its run up, and you have your best chances. That's usually what I wait for. When I front run things, bad things happen. Bad things happen. Anyway, welcome everybody. Drop a comment, people. This is an interactive show. I just can't get rid of this debugging the browser thing. It's driving me crazy. Literally for a year. Welcome everyone watching on X. Appreciate it. Let's see. No, that's not what I wanted to hit. Where is the X stuff? Only 2 of you watching over on X right now, but 16 watching on Rumble. Thank you very much to everyone watching on Rumble. Like I said, remember this is an interactive show. I'm here to interact with you guys. Pedro is out today, ladies and gentlemen. He is likely going to be out all week. We had Crypto Swamp Creature Chris on the show yesterday. I think we'll have him on the show tomorrow. Always good for a good comment or two. Like I said, Pedro's out. Normally Tuesdays is Technical Tuesdays. And Pedro goes over the kind of the big economic indicators of the world. I'm not going to do that today. I might do it in a space lounge tonight. Might have a little space lounge going on tonight. Which we'll talk more about the monthly outlook and how a longer term trade may work out. So drop a comment, people. This is an interactive show, as I say. Interactive. Thank you. Little Bitcoin. Let me drag more Bitcoin out here. All right, Bitcoin's still waffling on the whether it's going to turn up or not. The volume is kind of down right now. It's not fantastic. But one of the things you can see here on the 1 minute chart, all the moving averages are starting to consolidate like this, which means it's going to move. So at some point, it's going to move. It's kind of like when the price is coming down in a wedge. At some point it can't stay in that wedge. It's got to break out of it. And when all the moving averages start running in parallel, the exact same thing happens. Quickly, for you new people, once again, over here on this side, I have our app that we're going to be releasing called TradeWave. It tracks the various prices in the market. I know there's a million apps you do that. You're not looking for another app to say, oh, Bitcoin's up or down. That's not the point. That just happens that the app also works well for me here on the show for putting the prices and the graphics up But what's important what this app does, it allows Pedro and I to take our trades that we talk about and put them into the app so you can see them. When Pedro all the time has say, oh, I'm interested in ICP at this price. He got close with ICP here, just a little too conservative. One liquidity level away from hitting this one big. Anyway, he put in and he said, we put all our trades in there. First one was ICP. Over there it says the trader is Pedro. It's a symbol ICP. Trading strategy, liquidity level. So Pedro identified at a liquidity level at what price? At the entry price of 2.056. And this was when the price was at 307. So he said it's possible it can come down here and hit it. And then his notes say identify liquidity pools in order bunches where the price will retrace and then bounce off. Unfortunately for Pedro, it came down just a little bit, and then ICP started marching up. This trade, in fact, it went north of his exit price of 4.7, and he would have had a nice successful trade there. Second trade, active trade was this one, Ethereum here. Put an entry point, another liquidity level entry point at 3,361. That you can see that is marked active there. It's an active trade. We're in the trade right now. We're currently making, you know what? I don't know what is Ethereum's price today. Ethereum 3,400, so we're up. We own it at 3,351. And so, oops, that's the wrong button. This one. This trade is my trade, the BNB trade over here. BNB trade, it says active. We got it at 950 and so BNB right now is at 960 or so, kind of waffling around that area. But we're in the green on that trade as well. Plan on selling 1025. That for me was I call it a volatility swing method trade, in which we planned, because a lot of BNB had just been going like this. People had built up a lot of earnings, a lot of winnings. Perhaps it was Binance or CZ manipulating the currency or the coin in some way. At some point, they had to sell and had to bring it back down. And sure enough, that's what happened. It came right down. It dropped all the way down to 920 something, hit our order, and came right back up. And so we're in the green on it. Aster, Pedro's got a long on Aster at 98 cents. I don't know where Aster is right now. Let's look at Aster. Aster's still hanging out above $1. So Pedro's trade is still in the plan section, hasn't hit. But he said that trade isn't automatic. It has, in the notes section, it had needing to have lots of demand wicks. Needed to show a lot of support down there. So if the price did come down, it would drop down to be quickly bought back up. Then he knows that is a good liquidity level that establishes a good floor. And then there was one more on there, which I can't remember, that is still in the plan stage, but we're going to drop off of that right now. We gonna dip below 100K? Well, let's just put the sign up there, DeFi dude. There we go. She's telling us 100K coming soon. Yep. It is. It is, and it's either, like I said, it's either gonna come here in the next few hours if nothing good happens here, or if it just follows the monthly plan that we talked about earlier. The monthly plan being this was the first week of the month. This green arrow is the second week, and we just kind of go up a little bit, but really consolidate or waffle this week. There's a lot of demand wicks right here that need to be the orders or liquidity needs to be taken out there. Since these are pretty strong, it needs to do that pretty strongly. So that's why in the third week I have, for next week, I have a big down arrow. This heads down. These points aren't to scale here or planned locations. It's just the general idea. But the bigger move, as you can see, hits down here about the 96 area, something like that. So that's my thought process that it's doing that. Pedro generally agrees with me on that. And then the last week of the month, just to kick it right up. We shall see. We shall see. Which one of these? Let's see, which one do I got here? Oh yeah, 95K coming soon. Shamelessly adding sex to the whole thing, huh? It works. Who knew? Who knew that works? Oh, good Lord. Anyway, a bunch of you watching right now on Rumble, including over on Facebook. Facebook's been doing better for us than YouTube lately, unbelievably. No idea how. No idea how. Anyway, quickly, what was the other good story I wanted to talk about? Bank of England. Oh yeah, this one. This one was meant to have to talk about with Pedro, but Canada amended its Citizenship Act, so all you have to do is spend 1,000 days here for whatever reason, and you can become a citizen, and so can your kids who have never been to Canada. Like, say you have your dad's Lebanese. When he went to Canada, spent 1,000 days in Canada, can get citizenship, and suddenly you've been a Lebanese kid your whole life, never been to Canada. You only speak Arabic, maybe a little French in Lebanon, but you can get Canadian citizenship, and so can your kids, all the generations. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that for a while, the U.S. and Canada, we had this agreement called Beyond the Border, where we said we're going to act as one big open country and just protect the external border. I don't know how many of you guys know, but in the U.S. and Canada, our driver's licenses are the same and our passports are the same. They just come out of the same factories. Local DMVs used to print the driver's license, used to make them, but to eliminate fraud and all that, they started centralizing them. So there's only 2 places in the U.S. and Canada that make all our driver's licenses, and the amount of places that make our passports got consolidated. And the Canadian and U.S. passports are now identical. The U.S. and Canada, the global entry, all the trusted traveler programs and visa entry programs and electronic travel things, they're all operated together. We do everything together and all that. Works very well, keeps the costs down. But the U.S. has had to start pulling back from that because the U.S. let everyone in illegally under the Biden administration. It wasn't like they were going to legally come to Canada, so Canada didn't have to worry about that. But Canada has let everyone in the world in legally and given them passports or resident status and passports. And that's a problem for the U.S. because we don't want everyone in Canada to be coming from India and everywhere else just to get a Canadian resident card and come down and then disappear into the U.S. And it's been a big problem with crime too. And so we've said we've had to actually go the reverse way and tighten our border with Canada. And now it's such a pain in the ass. Now Canadians have to pay $30 to enter the U.S. if they're going to be here longer than a certain amount of time. Everyone's getting fingerprinted and facial recognition, the whole this type of thing. Back in the day, you just hold your driver's license at the border and drive across. Nobody cared. But not anymore. Because Canada continues to think that they need to import 500,000 people a year or more and fill their universities with foreigners without leaving places for their local people, without people having doctors, because there's national health care in Canada. Every time you bring in a few hundred people, you need 1 doctor for those few hundred people. But no, there's no new doctors, yet they bring in 500,000 people. And so there's massive wait times for a new doctor. People that move from, say they have a doctor in Toronto, but move to Vancouver, they have to fly back to Toronto to go to their old doctor until they can get it on their wait list clears in Vancouver. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And because they're doing that, they're in different healthcare systems. They have to kind of be gray on where they actually live in their residency. It's such a problem. Yet for some reason, Canada says, let's let everyone in. Now people that have no connection to Canada. I've never been here. Now you can be a citizen too. This isn't like, paying $1 billion and investing massive amounts of money in a country to do that. And say, oh, we'll give you citizenship if you move your $1 billion company here. It's just, no. Anyway. Drive me crazy there. Let's see, we hit the Ripple ad. Oh yeah, and the ETFs, no stranger to people trading the ETFs. They must have low in and out fees because with the dipping of Bitcoin and Ethereum prices, people moving to cash. $1 billion came out. Bitcoin and Ethereum funds bleed 1.7 billion as rate cut hopes fade. Solana's new ETF has a massive inflow. Good news for Solana. I don't think this headline is genuine. This Decrypt does a lot of AI writing. Most of these crypto websites, everything's written with AI, but curated by a human. The potential upcoming rate cut is, it's not why people move money in and out of Bitcoin. I just think people are seeing the price go down, and it's coming towards the end of the year. So they're like, all right, I've got some profits. We need to do a wash trade before the end of the year. So they're probably getting the money out. What other interesting news do we have? What was on the block? No strategy. Those are yesterday's. All right, that was the news I had for today. So let's go back, take a quick look at Bitcoin. Look at this. Might have seen the turnaround here. If you look at the RSI down here, getting stronger. It's right in the middle there. Let's look at a couple other time frames. 5-minute time frame. All right, looking okay. This point here at 1028 might have been the low of the day. We'll see how this goes. Let's go back to the 1 minute chart. As I was saying earlier, this is pretty funny. I was talking about how I need to better learn the longer time frame trades. And here I am watching the 1 minute chart. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I see a bunch of you watching out here. Do me a favor here and drop a comment. I would really appreciate it. Comment section's been light today. Been missing Crypto Mike here, celebrating Remembrance Day here in Canada. For those of you that weren't here at the beginning of the show, celebrating Remembrance Day just right over here around the corner from the building here that I'm in. And they have, on Parliament Hill, they have artillery. Right just after the 11 o'clock hour here, the celebration of the armistice and the Treaty of Versailles, the howitzer started going off. Kabam, kabam, kabam. Just, I think they do. I think there's 3 of them, and they do it 7 times for 21. And at the same time, Bitcoin is tanking. And I listened in the great graphics machine that I have running this thing, the ticker below me here, and on the main page, the Bitcoin price above, is from Fiat Leak, the website Fiat Leak. And every time the price hits a 24-hour low or high on Fiat Leak, it does a big kaboom, thunder, and they call it the earthquake. But it sounds exactly, and I'm listening to the broadcast of the Remembrance Day, which has a muffled version of the howitzer. I have the door open, which I can hear the howitzers, and then Bitcoin in my ear tanking, and I'm getting that. It's almost the exact same sound. It was really interesting. We'll call it earth shaking today. But anyway, we're watching Bitcoin. I'm just going to hang here a little bit longer for you in the show here to see if this starts to play out before we get into a trade here. It's hanging right on that a 1 minute flag. You don't. A little small guy there. you were to, I'm sure the 30-second or the 15-second chart, this is doing the little flag here. What's it going to do? Oh, just right away. As you can see, as soon as I drew the flag, it popped down below it. Although there's obviously there's multiple types of flags for that. You can have this type of flag. Actually, that's not even a good one. That would be this, of which you'd see the price do that. Maybe. We shall see. All right, while I do this, before I wrap this up here, we'll watch this. Okay, it's coming away from the 200 period moving average now pretty strongly, which means it's not going to come back up during the show, and maybe our 95,000 thing may come into play if we take the big dump. But actually, I put this graphic up here, and this person holding the sign here. I think that's going to happen next week here. Tomorrow, I think they're trying to vote to get the U.S. government to reopen. I think they're calling everybody back to Washington to have a vote, and so that'll be a good thing for the market. And so it might help this week do this. This might work out perfectly. If they open the government back up tomorrow, then we'll see a pump just out of the, hey, everything's good now. Everyone's going back to work. People getting paid. It'll be a positive news for the market. And then the numbers are going to come out from the BLS next week, and we'll see this. Kaplooey. Then the market recover, and then in the last week, with kind of lighter liquidity because of the American Thanksgiving, excuse me, there's a good chance we could see that in the last week. But anyway, let's get the old kick tracks running. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time for the show to end. That's what the time is. Comments from the gallery here. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, good show today. Appreciate those of you that tuned in for us, able to read some good Rumble ads. Had a good, kind of a typical crowd here as usual, and expected to have less since Pedro wasn't with us and we weren't going into detail about some of the projects, but thanks to everyone that showed up. Watch Bitcoin today. Watch the 1 minute 200 period moving average. There's a good chance I'll come back to you tonight with a Space Lounge to talk more about how the month of November is going to play out and do what we call a shoot the shit with striking session. Talk about what the month of November is going to do. Also, for those of you that are in the Toronto area, the formerly the Canadian Bitcoin Consortium, now it's Canadian Blockchain Consortium. They're having their annual summit in Toronto here on Thursday. You've seen their executive administrator and, well, their CEO, president, whatever you want to call her, Colia Carrington on this show before. She's running that. Look them up and go to the show. I can't go to the show this year. I've got obligations in Ottawa. So it's a good time if you're in Toronto, learn something new. Fire Chicken says, someone say Space Lounge. Yes, there's going to be likely going to be a Space Lounge tonight. Like Space Lounge are never guaranteed. You just have to be lucky to be there when they're on. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you here today. If you would like more of me, tune in tonight for the likely Space Lounge. And of course, tomorrow, I think we're going to have Chris Alexander once again as a guest tomorrow on the show. Always the irreverent humor and but very knowledgeable guy. So we'll see everybody tomorrow. Really appreciate tonight or tomorrow. As always, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to have hosted another show here called DYOR Live. Make sure you tune in every day to our show. Subscribe, follow, like, do all those great things. Be there. That's the wrong button. That's the right button. Oh, I'm off here. Good. I had a very typical crowd here, even though Pedro wasn't on.